Hello and welcome to another edition of Video Games to the Max. I am your host, Sean Garber. Here with me, as usual, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
Now, we have quite a show for you here today. Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed to November 2025. We have another news about Grand Theft Auto and why they may have fired some workers. PlayStation has made a lot of news in 1 week, officially and unofficially. They've added cloud streaming to the PS Portal. There might be a possible cross-buy option coming with the PlayStation 6. There's a PlayStation State of Play for Japan happening. Maybe as you're already watching this, if you're watching it later than Monday, and there's a lot more stuff as well. Nintendo Switch 2 and Switch 1 keep selling oodles of units, and we're going to talk about the 10 games, maybe a little bit more, plus that define us between myself, Mark, and Randy. So we'll get into all that and more right after this.
You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and discuss what we've been doing here. Mark, you went to that convention.
Yep. It was on Saturday.
How was it?
Pretty good. It was like you can go in earlier if you like buy more expensive tickets. That's what I did because it tends to fill up pretty quickly, like once the public gets in. So I was there at like 7:30, and it opens at 8:30. Like I wanted to be among the first, and I was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was there till about 11:30, or maybe even 12. Walking around. There were like, I don't know, 20 like tables set up, or vendors. So yeah, I bought some stuff, saw some friends. I was in at least 2 YouTube videos.
Nice.
And I met another. I don't think she did video, but there's a third YouTuber there as well. So I talked to her for like a second. So yeah, a lot of fun.
Sounds awesome.
Yep. And yeah, I'll mention what I picked up because some of it was cool, some of it no one cares about except for me.
Right.
I picked up The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, like the player's guide or like the strategy guide from Nintendo put out, 30 years ago or 35 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a little beat up, like it's kind of coming apart, like the binding is kind of screwed up. I don't know if I can actually fix it or not. But it's only $20, and it's complete. I mean, it's in rough shape, but it is complete, and like it goes for at least 60 online, so it's not a bad deal.
No.
I picked up Space Channel 5 for the Dreamcast. I like that game.
Hey, I had that game for the Dreamcast as well. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and it even has like the little like lenticular cover thing. It was $20, which is actually cheaper than like a loose copy, or so this was complete, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
Picked up a Japanese copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Dreamcast for like $50. That's going up in price, which is kind of crazy, considering there's a collection of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, for current systems. But
Right.
I picked up a copy of the Konami Classics Volume 1 for the Xbox 360. That's a collection of 3 Konami games, like Xbox Live Arcade games on a disc.
Yeah.
It's Frogger, it's Super Contra, and the one I care about is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
How many versions of Symphony of the Night is that for you?
7, maybe 8.
Damn.
Yeah. I think I'm only missing. Europe did one, and they did like a collector's edition also. I mean, but those are pretty rare. I mean, hell, the game is rare in America, so think about like Europe, like, I picked up a copy of Silent Debuggers on the TurboGrafx 16. That's a
What is
game I'm sure
that? Okay.
everyone is familiar with. So it came out in 1991. It's like I don't think it was the first game, but it's almost like a prototype first-person shooter. Like you don't have a gun on screen, or you don't have like an arm with a gun, like holding a gun, but you have like a cursor, and it's first person, and you're in like a space station that aliens are like attacking, and you have to like defend the station, uh, and escape. Like the game has a time limit of 80 minutes, and like the space station has like different sections. Like one is like the lights, or one is like the battery recharging station. So you have to like protect these stations from the aliens' attack, and if they attack it, and it gets lost, then it's like, okay, now I don't have lights. That's a problem.
Yeah, for real.
And it is kind of based on like almost Aliens, like the old film. Like there's even like a motion tracker with like the pinging radar sound effect.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's old, and it's kind of clunky, but I don't know. It just kind of burned itself into my memory back then, so but I like it. Are you gonna say something?
No, listen,
Okay.
hey, nostalgia works its
Yeah.
wonders there.
There's like 3 TurboGrafx games I care about, and that's one of them. The other one's like Military Madness, and that's about it.
You never
uh,
find those at all ever?
you can. This is just like the disc, or not even the disc, but like the cue card and the case and the manual. I mean, it did come in a box, but I didn't get that because that's like more expensive. Uh,
Yeah.
occasionally, most times, if you're hunting for TurboGrafx stuff, it comes in like the case, like just the tool case, or even just the card. No
Right.
graphics crap back then. Uh, the last 2 things are the more expensive stuff. I picked up a copy of Shadow Hearts for the PS2.
Ooh, Shadow Hearts.
You ever play it? Or
Wish I could play that game again.
see, I never played it. I have Shadow Hearts Covenant, like the sequel. Uh, and I just never picked up Shadow Hearts
Well, I
1.
played at a friend's house and I loved it, and then it's like I could never find it. And
Yeah,
then by the time you're looking for it, it's like, and it's one of those games that like when I was trying to go through PS2 emulation, it was one of those that like the emulator couldn't do very well.
yeah, it has some funky stuff in it. I remember Shadow Hearts Covenant has the same problem. It's funny. I have 2 copies of Shadow Hearts Covenant. One is like complete, and one is just like the loose discs. And
Yeah.
this was like way back in the day. I played Shadow Hearts Covenant, and I made it about 2 hours into it, and it like froze. And I was like, God damn it! Like I thought it was the game because I bought it used, and I was like, all right, I'll buy another one. Like then I bought like the loose copy version, and I was like, all right, that's fine. Played it, and it froze to the exact same spot. And then I
Oh
realized
no.
it's not the game. It was the PS2 or like the laser like screwing up.
Oh, okay, yeah. I went through
So
that.
it's like, all right, well, I can tell this is doing something weird. uh, and Shadow Hearts is it's gone up in price. Like it used to be, $60, and now it's like over 100. uh, and the last game I bought is related to Shadow Hearts. It's called Kudelka. You ever heard of that?
No, have not.
It's a PS1 game. It's made by some of the same people. I think Shadow Hearts is like a spiritual sequel to it. Uh, it came out like pretty late in the PS1 life cycle. It's like 1999. I think it's an RPG, but it has like Resident Evil like gameplay or like control systems, or
Yeah.
it's not like, or like Parasite Eve or something like that. Uh, I've heard it's kind of mediocre. Like it's not like the best game ever, but it's like 6s and 7s review wise. Uh, that was expensive. that was that was over like a significant amount. And the funny thing is like the copy I bought was the cheap one. There were copies there for $400.
So why was it cheap? Was it missing stuff?
No, that's like the weird thing is I found 2 copies for 400, and I was like, all right, I'm not getting that.
Right.
Uh, and then I found a copy for like 200, And I was like, all right, this is gonna be missing something, like the manual or like the registration card or something like that. But no, it's perfectly fine. So I was like, all right, I'll buy this one. Like
Nice.
uh, the funny thing is I made a list. I had like a shopping list. Like I printed out a paper of stuff I was
Right.
trying to find. Uh, of like 16 things. Guess how many I found?
How many?
One. It was
One.
a, it was that
Damn.
stupid Konami Classics Volume 1 thing. Like the other things on my list were like a lot more esoteric and weird because that's what I'm
Right.
into. It was like, Pepsi Man for PS1
Yes. That
or,
totally makes me think of you, Pepsi Man.
yeah, or like the Red Star for PS2 or, shit like that. And it's like, I mean, I tried to list a few people and even to a few vendors because I spoke up to a vendor. I'm like, do you have any of this crap? And one of the vendors was like, no, but good luck. You're going to need it. I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
thanks for that. uh, and the last thing I got, and I didn't buy it. I kind of went in the contest. I mean, but it was a Xbox 360, the slim model, like just the console. But
Right.
hey, it's a free console, so
Yeah. No.
it was from a friend of mine. Like a few friends do like a YouTube channel called Preferred Dimensions, and they did like a little trivia thing. So it's a console, none of the cables, a controller, just like the bare console. Uh, and like I think it was Shadow Mordor and Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. But
Man, that's a pretty
yeah,
good haul there.
I intend to mod it once I get a power cord for it and maybe a
Yeah.
controller and go with that. At least it has a hard drive. Like I don't was looking forward to trying to find one of those, but yeah, it was a good event overall. I was dead tired, like at the event, and then especially on the way home. I got like no sleep last night because it's one of those things where like you're excited to go to something and you just can't like fall asleep.
Hmm.
So I got like 3 hours of sleep, and I'm like, oh
I definitely
god,
know how that is. Yeah.
yeah. And this thing wasn't like next door; it was about a half hour away, and I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah. Got to make sure I get there.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, I was there at like 7:30. So,
Nice.
but yeah, cool event overall. I mean, I'll probably go next year when they do one. I think they might do two a year, like April and November. Uh,
Okay.
and yeah, it's cool. If you like retro
Sweet.
stuff and you're in Detroit, and it's pretty much the only thing you got going on.
There you go.
Uh,
All right. Anything else?
no, that's about it. Yeah, I might get Kudako shot. Uh, I've heard it has like really good voice acting and good visuals for the time, at least. So
Fair enough. Well, might as well go from there to the games we're playing. I have not been. This was another one of those days that I thought I was gonna have some time to play stuff, and started getting ready for this, and was trying to quickly get Randy's list for the 10 games that define us thing, and making sure I had mine all kind of ironed out. And by the time that turned around, it was like 6:15. I was like, we got to start. So
right,
I'm not starting a game right now. And then somebody called out at work, so it made my day harder, which sucks. But it is what it is. It feels like that's been like that for the past like 3 weeks. I keep saying I'm gonna play something else besides tactics, and then no, not happening.
tactics is all you need, man.
Yeah, I keep making progress there. I'm definitely wish I probably would have listened to the whole. Well, it's funny because like you play those random battles to like grind, and those are actually difficult. Like there's times where depending on what random character they decide to put in there that I've not seen before, like Rex
Right.
half the party.
Yep.
Um, that those will get me, but then you go play the story missions and they're easy as pie because my characters are like I think probably 10 levels or more than they probably should be.
Right.
Um, but I got the ninja and the samurai, which are two of the special
Yeah. Advanced
jobs,
jobs. Right.
and I've got like three more left. Three of the harder ones to get because one of them requires you to have like 6 of the jobs almost
Right.
maxed out with each character, which is crazy. But you know, I'll get there eventually, I think, with the ones
Yeah.
that I want that job to go to or whatnot. Again, still kind of again, I always think Square Enix is hilarious for doing this. They have like an achievement system within the Switch 2 game. So like I'll
Right.
get the little achievement thing, but of course Switch doesn't have that, so nothing unlocks or whatever. But it's just like a little noise that pops up, and it's like, I guess I can appreciate Square Enix giving their own.
Right.
But it's like, damn, Switch, like come on. Even Steam has their own achievements thing. Like, y'all could have done it. It's not,
Yeah, but they don't believe in it, so it's all
right.
right. Mhm.
But yeah, that's the only game I've been kind of playing at all. What are you playing
I
this
just
week?
did a little more mopping up with, pardon the pun, with PowerWash Simulator 2 and Hades 2. I platinumed PowerWash Simulator 2. Uh, I don't like how they do trophies in that game. Like some of it is fine, just like beat the mission or beat the level or whatever. That's fine. But
Yeah.
like half of those are that's like half the trophies, and the other half are like doing like weird dumb shit in the level, like
Yeah.
oh roll the ball down this slide, or reach like have a gnome at the top of the scissor lift, and it's like you wouldn't like normally do this stuff unless you're not like trying to do it, or like just following like a
Right.
guide for trophies. And I had to cheat with the last trophy. Thankfully, it's on PC and it can just use the trophy unlocker to just give it to me. Because one of the trophies or missions was like you had to clean 3 floats, like parade floats, and you had to like clean the mouse float last. Uh and I did it like 99%, but I missed like one gate or like one piece on one of the other floats, and that screws it up. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do the replay this mission for 45 minutes again.
Yeah.
So I just clicked it like unlock, and it gave it to me. And then for Hades 2, I just got the like hidden ending.
Nice.
Yeah, like I'll never like 100% that game because a lot of it's the same kind of like weird esoteric nonsense like that they don't really explain that well. But I'm happy to get where I am, so that's good enough for me.
Hey, great. Do you
Yep.
does the hidden ending you feel like lives up to the billing there for the game, or
Yeah, it provides some closure about what happens or about who's like certain characters are, so that's cool.
that's good.
But it
Great.
requires a
Glad to
lot of
hear.
effort to get into, so
Of
which is
course.
yeah.
Of course. All right. So unless you have
Nope.
anything else there, let's go ahead and get into the big topics here, which are mainly PlayStation related. Really one that I didn't know we were going to talk about, except for I kept seeing it make the rounds for some reason this week, even though I feel like we talked about them doing that video like a couple of weeks ago, the Mark Cerny and AMD one. And
Right.
then it feels like all of a sudden if they just a lot of the gaming social media decided to pull out this quote from it. I
Yeah.
guess in relation to some of the other stuff that was announced and rumored for stuff from PlayStation this week, that they Mark Sony mentions that graphics have reached the limit in which it is more costly to achieve visual improvement with brute force power. The great leap of PlayStation 6 generation will come from ray tracing and AI rather than raw power.
Great.
Does that make you feel like it makes sense how we can get to that $600 price point for the PS6 then, if they're not going to be putting a lot of power into that system compared to the PS5?
I mean, not really, like because memory is getting more and more expensive, as the years go on. Like not not hard drive, but I meant like system RAM or like video RAM. Uh, and I'm not sure like I'm not even. I'm still not 100% sure how much of a benefit like ray tracing is, except like graphics dorks. Like, do you ever notice it?
I mean, I don't know when it's ever actually turned on. I mean, my TV can
Right.
support it, obviously, but I don't really ever know when it's actually working or,
Yeah. So it's like how much of
whatnot.
a benefit like does this matter? Or it's like, oh, it has the lighting is slightly improved. It's like, was the previous lighting bad? Like, no. So it's like, how much of a graphical bump can this is this like materially impacting the game? Like 3%, maybe 5. Like, who cares?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think they're like stuck, but I think like the tech heads or like the super graphically obsessed people are like driving this thing a little more than they should be. Let's say that.
Yeah. I mean, I do kind of understand that in a way, again, because people are, as these things continue to become, and this one is obviously another step in that direction of, these are just super powered PCs and all that stuff. It's like, is it going to be worth it to move to the PlayStation 6,
Right.
especially at launch, if it's really not going to be that much of a improvement, right?
Right.
You know, obviously generations are long. You don't have to buy it at the word go if you don't want to,
I
but
mean, I would say even at this point, like there's only like a handful of PS5 games that like actually use or like demonstrably better than like the PS4 or like that use like special PS5 tricks or whatever. So it's not like the PS5 was some great step up from the PS4, you know?
yeah, especially now that you're seeing a lot of games somehow be able to work on Switch too, that
Right. Well,
supposedly
that
are supposed to be,
yeah,
yeah, and that's more PS4,
adjacent.
I guess PS4 Pro-ish level.
Right.
So if those games are being able to work on it, not saying that some of like Sony's big first party games like Yote or Horizon Forbidden West, fit
Right.
that bill necessarily. Um, but I'm just saying, like you said, it's a very small amount of games that you feel like, wow, they really took advantage of all of that. And I really feel like these are PS5 games. Like, ironically, Astrobot to me is one of those, and it doesn't really look like it's superly graphically intensive either.
Right.
Which is more to say about the gameplay and all that other stuff. What's going on, Cube?
Well, it's like with Astrobot, like they did like the controller crap, or
Yeah,
like
I know.
how many games do that? It's like
Hardly
3.
any of them, but honestly, that's been the case since the beginning of the PS5. Has
Right.
been like that team makes those games specific so that you can get everything out of the PS5. And a lot of
Right.
it is also like they do have features, but a lot of people find them annoying, so they turn them off. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I
Um.
actually don't like the adaptive trigger stuff much,
Yeah.
like
Um.
personally, but
Yeah, like some people don't like the way you shoot an arrow thing, where sometimes you have to push it all the way down, and
right.
it won't necessarily do what you want if you don't, press it the right way. I like it. I like the way it feels, but I know there's people that like couldn't stand it for
Yeah.
some reason or another. So same thing with the haptic feedback. There's people that love it. There's people that hate it. There's people that don't really care at all. It's just there.
Right.
So, but I do think that he has a point. I do think that is a way that they're going to be able to save money and be able to will have it be closer to that price point. Um, I do wonder if they're gonna come out with 2 SKUs, like maybe one this is the base model PS6 with 1 terabyte and no disk drive and like essentially everything. Like this is the basics of what you need, right? To be able to use this. You don't have to pay PS5 Pro price for it or whatever. That is also supposed to be the handheld version or whatever. We'll still have to see if that's actually gonna happen or not. And then you'll have the ultra super powered one that's more akin to the PS5 Pro, that maybe that is the
I,
one that's
I
more, oh, this is 700, this is 800 with
I
2
don't think.
terabytes
I
and all
mean,
that.
I think they'll do that, but I don't think it'll be at launch. I think they're just gonna do what they've done for the past 2 generations, PS4 and PS5. Like, here's the launch model, and then 3 or 4 years later, here's the Pro model.
Right, because I mean, but they did say that like the idea is that there's not going to be a disk drive in either launch model, right? You'll have to buy the disk
Right.
attachment separate, so that will save you whatever, $60-$70 off the top that they don't have to charge at all.
Right.
Like, you really think it's going to be okay? Here's the handheld one that's obviously less graphically intensive. You can dock it to your TV.
I don't think like you. I don't think you're going to do a handheld one,
You
or at
don't.
least it won't be at launch. Let's say that.
You think
I
it's
think
just going to be there's so what is it going to be? Just the terabyte difference? That's the only reason you would have.
I know, like you mean between like the base model and the pro model, or
No, like okay, if they're going to do two SKUs, like they did a digital and a not digital.
I'm gonna be a disk drive, and
you think there'll be one with a disk drive at launch?
I think it'll be a disk drive and then like a hard drive, like it'll be an extra terabyte, and it'll be like $100 more, maybe 120, depending on how, depending on if the disk drive is like integrated or not, like with the PS5, and
Right.
that's it.
That's possible. I just feel like if you're going to introduce this PS5 already, I think the rumors of there being a handheld version be the lower SKU makes sense as to why you would have two SKUs. Because if not, why not just have the one? This is the PS5, PS6. It
Right.
doesn't have a disk drive. You can buy it additionally if you want. It's going to come with whatever 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. You're going to pay that, and
or maybe like
that's what it is.
the expensive, like the launch model expensive version will come with like a free game, or like here's Astro. Not
Yeah,
Astro Bot
maybe
2, but Astro. What was that? What was the PS4
like
one?
Playroom.
Yeah, Astro Playroom 2 or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
that equivalent. It's gonna be interesting what they would do with the like. Do they just have a DualSense that somehow does something else that they haven't thought of yet? Like that's
the dual smell. It'll release smells as you play.
We're gonna go back to smell-o-vision.
No, I know. I mean, it might like slightly, or I think it might have like a removable battery.
Right.
Because I know they're experimenting with like PS5 controllers that do that.
Right.
I think I saw some Kotaku headline or article about like, oh, all controllers should have back paddles. I'm like,
actually, the Switch 2 Pro controller is annoying. I can't stand the back paddles on that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want that at all.
Accidentally.
Yeah, because I have like stupid thing for my PS4, and like whenever I set it down, like, and I'm watching it because I use my PS4 controller on my PS5. It's basically like the Blu-ray like player controller, and whenever I set it down, like it'll start like skipping ahead or like pause the movie I'm watching or something because it like is like clicking in when I set it down, and I'm like like smashing the controller on the table or whatever. I'm just putting it down. So I don't want controllers to have back paddles at all. Like that stuff is like nonsense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it if you're announcing it like the Edge controller, right? Like that's one of the things of the Edge controller. That's fine,
right?
But don't make it on the base controller,
right? Unless you're like the only people that actually care about that crap are like super high level like Call of Duty players, and that's about it.
Right? Or like fighting game people or something
right.
like that.
But like regular people, they don't care, and most of them don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, so we're still probably like at least I would say a year out before we hear anything else from Marc Cerny, I'd imagine, about actually giving big details on the PS6. So we'll be talking about this again, but figured we would bring this up and see what other people thought as well that are had me watching or listening later. One of them is go ahead. Sorry,
I was gonna just mention or just to the point about like the PlayStation 6 handheld, like not the Portal, but like the one that you think is gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna call it like PlayStation 6 handheld. I think they'll call it like the Vita 2, or they'll give it some other stupid name, and it'll be like related to the PlayStation 6, but it won't be part of like the core family lineup, or
So it'll be a thing that they will charge what, like $400 for or something?
Yeah.
Go.
And they'll say like, hey, it can play some PS6 games or PS5 or whatever, but it won't be able to play all of them.
Yeah, or well, it'll play a PS6 game, but it won't be the best version of the PS6 game you're playing, Or the AI will help it a lot, or whatever, however they're going to explain that.
Right.
But something that we did get announced, mentioning the portal there, was for the recently, or when they announced this, I think it was like about 5 or 6 months ago, the cloud streaming beta for the PS portal. You still had to be tethered to the PS5, but you could
Right.
stream your games or whatever, and somebody else could use the PS5 or whatever if they wanted. Now you do not need to have a PS5 at all, and all you have to do is have PS Plus. So essentially, this is them doing like their Xbox Play Anywhere kind of thing.
Right.
Of there's about 1,200 games that if you own them, as long as you're subscribed to PS Plus to have the streaming capability, you can play them on the portal without having to own a PS5. So you could essentially just go on the website, if you don't have a PSN login, you can go on the PC, make you a PSN login, and then if you want to buy games on the portal, you can. It will take you to a QR code that will then allow you to go to the store on the web or whatever, and you can buy the game, and then you can download it and play it or stream it on the portal. So
Right.
that's pretty nifty from Sony. Not something that I thought that I would hear them say. Like, I always thought, oh, this will never become up unattached from the PS5 because they don't want this. They don't want you to have a super, super cheap entry point that requires you to not have to use the console. And it's interesting that they did just pull that lever and go, no, you can buy this $200 thing and then play a bunch of games. And
Yeah, but like you just said, it's not every game.
right, I would imagine they would add to this. Like right now, they are absolutely killing Xbox and the stream your own games thing. Even they just announced it. Xbox has had that thing for a while. But I do think that's an incentive for somebody that says, "Man, $500, $600. Well, now it's what, $600? It's too much for me, but $200, I could do that."
Right.
Right. I was looking at it just because I was looking at things on the website. It's like $20 every couple of, like, for if you want to pay it for a year with one of those buy now pay later things. It's like $20, $30 a month.
Right.
So it's nothing. It's I just feel like it's a good idea. I'm wondering if they're doing it as a test bed to see if people will actually gravitate towards it, right? And then, okay, if there is a big attachment to this, then that also helps push that idea of maybe they will do the full Switch version of a PS6 kind of thing if a lot of people gravitate towards it.
Right.
So I mean, they know that cloud streaming is going to be a bigger thing when we get to 2027. How big, obviously, will determine on people's internet capabilities and all that stuff. But you can imagine 2 years on, you would have better quality things. Especially with how much regardless of how much Xbox is their competition still. They are pushing for that. So this is another way to kind of like stop Xbox in their tracks of being like, yo, hey, you're not the only one going towards this future. We are pushing that way too. And I think we found a better way to beat you at your own game right now because your handheld device or whatever costs a lot more. Right. Obviously, there's also lets you do a lot more things, but
I saw that the ROG Ally, the one they sent to Modern Vintage Gamer, broke within like a week.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think the left trigger broke.
Yeah,
he could like hear it rattling when he would like shake it, and I'm like, that's
wow,
good quality control.
That's not great. And other news. Now, this is actually what I just said about the cloud streaming thing. That has officially been announced by Sony. If you're watching on video, you saw the trailer that they put out for it. This is a rumor that is going around that is due to data mining from Biblicoon, Deal Labs, the guy that always has like the PS Plus stuff early, and he's had other things from Sony leaked before that they know about. So they were doing some data mining, and they found that there's a cross-buy icon that has existed since June 2025. So it's new. It's not just something that's like using the old PS Vita and PS3 cross-buy thing.
Right.
And it's like another source also was able to confirm that is there, and it may be something that they're going to introduce most likely with the PS6, but it could also be with the Portal as well. And it gives people there has been a lot of ideas going through the various spaces that exist in gaming on social media, whether this means that it's cross-buy between PlayStation and PC for the PlayStation first party games, whether it means that PlayStation may be thinking about opening up their own PC storefront in order to allow for this cross-buy to happen, right? Because if not, you're going to have to do some kind of cross-buy. If you want to do third-party games for this, you would have to either do it with either Epic, which technically they do have investment in Epic, so they could do it, or less likely Steam, because Steam would want their cut out of it, which they really don't want to do, you'd imagine.
I mean,
that's not how Sony works usually, but
you say that, but it's happened before. Like, look at the orange box in the PS3. Like when you bought that on the PS3, you got a copy with Steam.
yeah. But I mean, that was also when they were promoting the Vita thing as well with that. So I don't know. Sony is very much into, we want to make our money. We don't want anybody taking the money from us.
Yeah, but like if they were like,
know,
okay, we're opening up our own storefront, it's like, look how like Amazon and Google couldn't hack it. You think you guys are? Give me a break.
well, I mean, but this is their incentive, right? Of saying, okay, if you go to our storefront, you automatically get, I don't know how any of our PC games that we put on PC, our first party, they will automatically give you a cross buy. So that's an incentive, right? And then there'll be many third parties that we will put on here. If you have PS Plus, or I don't know how they're gonna do that.
That's what I don't think. I don't think that'll happen. Like the third party stuff. I think it'd be like, oh, it's Wolverine and Astro.
Well, it's the same thing as the Xbox Play Anywhere, right? Like they have so many of those things where you buy a third party game and you can play it wherever, So I feel like,
but like it's still beholden to like it. There's a difference between what Xbox is doing, which is a Game Pass, which is a subscription thing, and then this. This would be like you owning 2 copies of it, which
no,
I don't.
It is. If you buy, like let's say you buy Remake for Xbox, it's Play Anywhere, so you will be able to play it on PC as well. So, or on the phone or whatever. I do think that I could see Sony doing a similar thing with their little. I would err on the side of they're probably not going to do it because of the whole. Look how many people have tried and failed, right?
Yeah.
But I could also see it where maybe it is possible that they will, because they don't want to be giving away percentages to anyone.
But again, it's the thing I always say that like, okay, you can make your own storefront, or you can, Gearbox can only put Borderlands 3 on the Epic, and then you sell 10,000 copies or even 100,000, but the second it goes on Steam, you sell 400,000 copies.
Well, I mean, it would be more like a launcher, right? So like it's like when a Ubisoft game or an EA game loads off of Steam, it's loading the Ubisoft launcher in the background.
You're still buying the game on Steam. Like that's what they don't want to happen. Like this would be like, EA with their stupid Origin thing that, I mean, it lasted like 5 or 6 years, but they eventually went back to Steam because they're like, You want to make money, and
I'm just wondering if they'll do like it's an overlay that you have to log into in order for the license to
well, they've already tried
show
that,
up,
and
right?
people
Yeah.
didn't like that either. Like they kind of backed down from that.
Right. That had a lot to do with the Helldivers 2
Right.
thing. And then obviously when the problem was with God of War, it was like it didn't work unless you logged into PSN.
Right.
But I think a way to get people to, it's just I could see an overlay working where you have to log into something in order for the license to show up, and then all of a sudden now you can load
I
it
mean,
off Steam or whatever, right?
maybe, but like the problem with at least like the PSN launcher was like it doesn't exist in certain countries,
Yeah, there's a lot of countries that doesn't
and you're
exist
just kind
now.
of asked out. It's like, what are you supposed to do then? Like VPN it? Like
Right. Yeah.
I
Like
don't like that.
that's something that they would obviously have to look into and figure out how to make that work. Obviously, we don't know if that's really what that is. Crossbuy could just be their
I,
version of
see,
saying that. Go ahead, son. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I see cross buy as more of a not PS5 to PC, but PS5 to PS6.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that. So good, you were thinking the same wavelength. There was that this could mean because they know remember last time when PS5 was rolling out, the whole big thing from Jim Ryan was we believe in generations, right?
Right.
They weren't supposed to push PS4 games that much, right? The
Yeah.
pandemic happened and they said, "Oh shit, we have to." Right? And then it kind of dove into, "Oh, well, we have to because people aren't moving off of PS4." They finally stopped it, right? Eventually. But
Right.
as what happens with every generation, but this time they're going in knowing that PS5 is basically essentially another part of the cycle with them of saying we know you guys are not going to move off of PS5. So we're going to go ahead and make it to where since most of these games, even a bigger chunk are going to work on PS5 for an even longer time than say PS4. That's going to be interesting. Will they at one point be only making like how long will it take to make only PS6 games when if the graphics stuff is not going to be that different, especially when you factor in the Pro that has the PSSR thing.
Right.
And it's like how many people are going to do the essentially the Xbox One X thing that happened when that happened where Microsoft did that mid-gen refresh or the PS4 Pro and they stay on that for a long time before they ever move to the PS6. I wonder if that's going to cause a problem, but I mean, obviously they don't care. You're still in the ecosystem. You're still making them money. So who cares? But you have a good point. I think if anything, there is more of a chance of it being you buy it for PlayStation 6, you automatically get the PS5 version. And, whichever system you want to play it on, it's independent. So therefore, somebody can play it on the PS5 and you can also play it on the PS6 at the same time and whatever else that entails.
Right.
The other thing I could think of too is that it just means that you could play it on the portal or something like that, where this means you can now have the streaming capability to stream it because you bought it and now it's cross buy that way. I just think the PC storefront could happen. That's not like too crazy, but I don't.
I mean,
I think that would also mean that you're going to shorten the window too of the PC stuff, and I don't think that they want to get to that point because that means you definitely don't need the PS6 if you make those windows any shorter.
yeah, but unless like the PS6, most people are gonna drop $2,000, over $2,000 in a gaming PC, like
Yeah, no.
especially when a PS6 is probably $600 or whatever. And then I think like a Sony PC store could happen, but it would be the dumbest and worst decision they could ever make.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
whatever,
I don't think it
what,
would be the dumbest thing because I mean they could also just decide to again just make it into an overlay if it doesn't work out well. But sure. Um,
again, they already had the overlay, so why do this nonsense at all? But then, uh, whatever paltry sales will get for Astrobot or Days Gone 2 or whatever the hell they're going to put on that thing. It's like, well, okay, once it goes on Steam, it'll be an exponential multiple factor of more sales, So,
right.
I mean, I barely even know that you can like buy stuff on like the Ubisoft launcher. It's like I have like Assassin's Creed Shadows on it because I got a free code, but like
Hmm.
if I was going to buy that game, I just buy it on Steam,
Right.
regardless of like, oh, it's $10 cheaper on the Ubisoft launcher. It's like that's not enough incentive for me to care. It being free is different, but like,
Right. Hey, you bring up a good point because there's been once again more news about the PlayStation Store and Sony essentially are doing dynamic pricing on the store.
yeah,
Um, this first came up in November 2024 with somebody saying that Astrobot was much cheaper for them on their version of the PS Store, but they had a friend that was searching it and it was regular price for them. And this was, last year. This year, as of a week ago, somebody was trying to buy the Red Dead Redemption 2 Ultimate Edition, and his wife's account had the game $5 cheaper. Um, both both accounts having the same region, same PlayStation, and same currency. His was $19.99 and hers was $14.99.
maybe it
This
was like
obviously has to be some kind of algorithm that does this or whatever, depending on what kind of games you buy, what kind of games you like, all that kind of stuff.
maybe it's like a loyalty program. Like maybe she had Red Dead 1 on her account. They're like, all right, you
Right.
like, here's $5 off.
How do you feel about this? I'm not the biggest fan of dynamic pricing because I feel like it makes it
Uh,
to where, you know,
I think it can be okay. Like I have like Amazon does it too. Like I have like a coupon for a Blu-ray set I'm probably going to use over the weekend if I have enough money for it. Uh, but I don't want stuff to go up. Like that's the thing. Like I want to,
right. Yeah.
that's like the problem with Kroger. Like their dynamic pricing is like they go up in price, not down. It's like this is the wrong way to do this,
Wait,
not the
so why
right
does
way.
dynamic pricing go up for them?
Because like let's say they can adjust. They have like those electronic price tags.
Mhm.
So they can just adjust the price of like a bottle of Coke or whatever. And instead of like let's say it's regular $2, it can go up to like, oh, it's $2.50 now instead of $1. So yeah, forget that.
But
I,
what's
I
there? I don't understand how there's ever an incentive for the price to go up. How that's better for the consumer? I don't.
no, it's not. It's better for the company, but it's supply and demand. Like if they're like, oh, there's a run on Coke, we can increase the price, and then
Okay. Okay.
yeah, to
It's
screw them
almost kind
over.
of like gas.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, how like gas will change from one day to the
at
other
least with
instead
like
of yeah.
gas, it's not like constant, but and gas doesn't go from like $2 to $4 randomly. Like it's usually
Right.
slow and steady
It'll
increase.
change like within like 20 to 50 cents,
Right.
sometimes daily,
Right.
depending on
Uh,
factors.
see, I don't mind dynamic pricing, but I'd kind of like just to know like what the criteria is, or like why does it occur? Like I'd want to know what their rule set is for determining this.
Yeah, it would be nice for Sony to come out and if this ever obviously gets on, or somebody would have to do the investigative reporting on that and actually have some kind of sources that say that this is really happening.
Like remember when
Yeah,
I don't think they ever actually did it. They keep doing it like half on, half off, or other nonsense. But like Sony announced an initiative a while ago that like, oh, you can cash in your PlayStation trophies, like your platinum
Right.
trophy, and like it kind of like went nowhere because it was like really half-assed, or like their PlayStation Rewards stars, or I think you did that for like a little
Yeah,
bit,
the
right?
stars, right? Yeah, then they took it
Uh,
out.
right. Like yeah, it's always like these like half measures that they never really commit to. But like if it was like, okay, we see that you've platinumed or got a lot of trophies in Final Fantasy games, and you don't have Final Fantasy 16, and it's normally $20, but we'll give it to you for 15 for like a week or whatever. Like, all right, that'd be fine.
Right.
But yeah, I like what Sony tries to do, but they always just do it in half steps, and it's like, no, commit to something, and then explain why you're doing it, and not have it be some like mobile only initiative, or just do it for everyone.
Yeah, that thing never coming off mobile kind of already spelled the idea that they did not have a lot of faith in that,
Right.
and they never tied it to your like the actual PlayStation itself. It was always only on the
Yeah,
app.
it was like some
Yeah,
peripheral thing, or yeah,
yeah.
or even like Xbox has done the same thing, kind of with like
The
well,
rewards,
yeah,
but the reward system, you can cash that stuff in on the console itself. Like you don't have to
right,
just use their app. But
yeah, but
they've
not
built that thing to where like essentially they just don't want you to be gaining stuff off the
right.
rewards.
Well, now they capped it with Game Pass, so
Right, which is even worse.
yeah,
When they made the first changes, they'd already ruined it, and then they made it worse with the Game Pass changes too. So it's like, okay,
right,
basically cannot count on this really to be getting Game Pass for free. Not that I didn't play enough to be able to do that, but still, it's just like sucks for the people that is how they were redeeming Game Pass, and they kind of ruined
right.
that for them. Lastly, a big surprise today. Sony announced a state of play that is for Japan, Asia, but they are providing English subtitles. So maybe there's going to be some big announcements that are more Japan focused, but if they want to make sure that the English audience wants to know about it, they're putting subtitles. So maybe some surprises there. Who knows?
I imagine one of two things: either 20 minutes of Monster Hunter DLC, uh, or like here's super advanced mahjong or something like that,
Yeah,
or like a bunch of
it
like,
is going to be 40 minutes long. So
or like here's her Japanese ports of American games.
maybe, but
I
the
doubt
fact that
it.
they have it says from distinctive indie creations to great games interviews and looks at anticipated titles.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised. Definitely, I think Marvel Token will be there. The fighting game that they have the like publishing work with
Right.
on them. I think that's going to be a big feature. Maybe some kind of Wolverine thing again. No,
I don't think so, because I don't think they care about Wolverine much.
I don't know if they'll do like some kind of show something on the multiplayer for Yote.
Right. That might
Perhaps.
be. Or like here are the classes, or here's a brief rundown of the mission or something.
Yeah, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try to promote Monster Hunter some more,
Right.
especially after Capcom kind of like threw the PS5 under the bus for costing too much or whatever. So,
Or they could just
um,
say, hey, we're making like they'll just show a logo for like the next one, kind of cut and run.
you think so? Man, I don't. As much as they promote that it's a huge talking point every time Capcom's like financials come out. I don't know that they want to cut and run with that for at all, but yeah, it could be possibly.
Yeah.
But all right, moving away from PlayStation for a bit here to focus on another big publisher, another big game company, Rockstar. They are back in the news because GTA 6 has been delayed.
Yep.
Much to probably a lot of people's they're not happy about that. A lot of people wanted that to come out in May so they wouldn't have to wait as long, but Yeah, November 19th, 2026. Do you think this is finally the time?
No.
Is it going to come?
Nope.
You think it's going to get delayed again to 2027?
Yeah. 100%.
Wow. I mean, that's not nothing. It's costing them a pretty penny for.
Because I think the problem with that game now is it's like feature creep. Like they're adding so much crap, and it's like becoming like Star Citizen. They just keep adding more and more crap into it, and they like can't or won't shut it off. Like I saw some, I don't know if it was like a fake article or just some stupid uh AI thing or
Right.
whatever, but like an article like, oh, there's a music creation feature in GTA 6. Like you can go to the studio and make music. And I'm like, why? Like, assume that's true. Who the fuck cares? Or what,
I mean, remember that they basically said that they wanted GTA 6 to essentially be like its own Roblox or Fortnite, where they want you to be in GTA 6 creating things and doing things and not just be on GTA Online.
but like who's gonna like how many of the millions of people who are gonna play that game are gonna do that? Maybe like a few thousand. Like,
And they spend all this time on the story mode that a lot of people don't really give a shit about either, that they just play through so they can do stupid stuff,
I mean, I would rather have them. I would actually rather like split the game. Like, here's the story, and here's the online crap, and you can buy it as a complete package if you want. But if you just want the story, here's $30, or if you just want the online, here's 40 or 50 or whatever, and that's it. Because I just buy the story, and move on with my life, play it, and move on with my life. Like I don't care about all the crap they're adding into it.
I don't think that they will do that because they want you to
No,
pay
of course they won't do
them.
that. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, as a personal interest, like I speak for myself and probably for you as well. Like
Yeah.
you'll probably care about that story peripherally because it's in Florida, or
Yeah, exactly.
it'll probably be a good story. And
That
I'm
is the
interested.
that is the only reason I care about Grand Theft Auto 6. If it was not in Vice City and based on Florida stuff, I probably would not buy it.
Right. Don't worry. Once they make GTA 7, it's set in Midgar. You'll be all set.
Dude, if that happens, that'd be amazing.
But like, I'm not surprised at the delay. I mean, remember the thing was supposed to was supposed to be out this year, and
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
It's interesting that like normally I wonder if that means that they're gonna have it at Game Awards, the next trailer, because the two trailers are 6 months apart.
Right.
And then the 6 months after, all you've done is announce a delay with like no other.
I don't think they'll have a trailer. I think they'll just have like a mission. Like,
you think they'll take like 15 minutes of the Game Awards with a mission?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it'll be like a short. There are some short missions in GTA. I just haven't like one of like the intro missions or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you mean like they're gonna show off like 5 minutes of gameplay or something like that?
Right. 5 to 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes. Yeah. Also, though, I think you mentioned that other people aren't happy about this. Like, I've seen a lot of people, like fans, complaining about this, but I've seen a lot of like game developers being upset by this. It's like,
because it does affect. Look, I mean, this is the fall time period.
well,
This is a huge time period for gaming. You're gonna then drop this behemoth that.
yeah, but like at this point, they just need to grow a spine and go, hey, we're putting our game out, October 20th or whatever. We don't give a fuck about GTA. Like,
Well,
I
think
mean,
October 20th is fine. I think when you're releasing in November, that's when it's a problem. Like Call of Duty now, Microsoft now has to think about Call of Duty. Do we move it out of the way? Do
no.
we move? I definitely do think that matters. A lot of those same people are going to be playing. GTA is not one of those games that you go, oh, it's not the same people. GTA is an everybody game.
But like, I just don't like this like hand wringing that like GTA is some omnipresent threat. Like, it'll do well. Obviously, it'll probably be the number one seller for the year. but who knows if it's actually like if it'll hit the same way GTA 5 did. Like I question like the quality of that game personally because it's been a while since they made one, and even GTA 5 wasn't perfect. Like
No, it wasn't. But
I just wish like that like developers would just go, we're putting our game out November 11th, or that's the date we already selected, and we're not moving
right,
for this shit. Like, because especially since like I think it'll be delayed again. So
man, that's gonna be something if it gets delayed again.
I
Uh,
even if it's just like a week or something, it'll still be funny. Like, oh, we discovered some like late bug or whatever, so we had to push it back a week.
no,
Yeah,
I don't think they would release it during like Thanksgiving or whatever. I think if they're gonna push it, they just push it to like beginning of December or something like that. If they were gonna do something like that, or just like to January, February,
right.
which is another hot time to release games now. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting because, yeah,
I mean,
I have thoughts that I think we might get surprised with some Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 stuff at the Game Awards because Hamaguchi's been going around talking a little bit too much lately.
yeah, like I think that's way more of like it's not coming out this year, obviously, but I think it'll come out next year.
No. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're aiming for like maybe the January, February, the same window that Rebirth came out in.
Right.
That winter 2027 timeframe to make it in the same year as the, what would it be, like 30th anniversary of 7? But I could definitely see like at some point, whether it's Game Awards or Summer Game Fest, we're gonna get some kind of trailer for Part 3.
Yeah, it'll be like to continue. Yeah, it'll be some rendered thing or just
Yeah, I don't not getting, if you get gameplay at all, it'd be like the little 2 seconds gameplay ones that we got at that other Game Awards.
No, I think if it was a gameplay, they'll show off like how Vincent works.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
And then after
yeah,
GTA 6 is done, you can finally get Rockstar table tennis too.
In your dreams, there, buddy. That's it. They'll just announce that they're working on Red Dead Redemption 3. Now they did give reasoning for this, supposedly, that they basically just want to take that time to make
like
sure that it's it's got Rockstar games are perfectionists, and Take-Two hasn't put restrictions on them to delay if they feel like they need to. GTA 6 has never been on or ahead of schedule like most games.
Right.
So
why would it be on schedule?
Yeah, I mean, if there's one game that can do it, and they know that it's been crazy. It's been a year-long wait since we thought it was going to come out originally. So now this is 2 big delays. So,
what would actually be kind of interesting is if, like, they're going to make GTA 6, obviously, but after that, if they, like, pulled, like, a Bethesda and, like, did a GTA 4, like, remastered.
There's some people believing that there is a GTA 4 remaster or remake happening,
remake,
and that they made this may be part of it to, like, release GTA 4 remake first, and then in that time frame where GTA 6 would have released, and then release GTA 6 later. I could see them doing that.
I think it'd be GTA 6, and then it has, hey, here's a side thing, like, because it's like what they did with the GTA 3 trilogy remaster. Like, hey,
yeah,
we're gonna ship this out, and eventually we'll fix it. But
I don't know about that. I do think that they've learned their lesson on those remasters and how poorly they were received. Obviously, they sold well, especially the Netflix version sold like crazy because they were like the best looking versions of the games too, which is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, And then look how that's fallen on the face of Netflix, but it is what it is. Not so good news for Grand Theft Auto 6 or partially Grand Theft Auto, but this is more about Rockstar themselves. There's a report from Bloomberg, Jason Schreier, that Rockstar may have fired around 34 employees because they were discussing a Discord about forming a union.
It's like I said last week. Like they were the disruptive behavior or whatever bullshit reason that Rockstar gave was like, it was because they were talking about a union, not about.
Well, the disruptive behavior they say is now about unveiling secret stuff
info
about the game, which
that is like almost in line with like the Mind's Eye, the Leslie Benzies going like, oh, our game got sabotaged. It's like really weird paranoid thinking. Like no one cares that much. Like I don't think any of these people were like on Reddit going like, oh, I've seen the game. Like,
and these are employees from UK and Canada, and
right.
there was a one of those employees actually posted on a GTA forum, and he said he gave like some kind of info on this. He says that they were terminated for gross misconduct regarding those posts made in the Discord. He says that they did not divulge any other information as to why or any reasoning. They refused their right to union representation in the disciplinary meeting, which is against UK employment law, and were frog marched out of the studio with the meeting lasting less than 5 minutes. Colleagues who were not in the studio that day, they received a phone call from HR that lasted less than 2 minutes, telling them they were fired and that they'd received the same letter as above. I'm aware of one employee who had a panic attack at this moment, and HR hung up on them during this panic attack, not caring at all about their well-being. Many of them worked many years at Rockstar, and some of them for more than 18 years, and none of them ever had any disciplinary issues at all. They were talking about senior artists, animators, QA testers, designers, programmers. Some of them were out sick when this happened, from a surgery or on paternity leave. There was never any discussion or leaking of Rockstar projects in the union Discord. There was only ever discussion around unionization efforts and the working conditions at Rockstar. The Discord wasn't public. It was a private Discord group that only contained Rockstar employees and the IWGP union officials. GB, sorry, not the New Japan wrestling thing. But yeah, there were also 250 people in that union employee Discord group. So I wonder if there's going to be more. But they've only fired 34 of those 250 at this point, is what he says.
Well, they can't fire them all right now because they need to keep working on the game. Once the game comes out, they're gone.
I mean, this news sucks. It's bad. It's against the law in the UK, so it's but obviously they have to have proof aside from these people's statements, right, to be able to kind of like do something about it. I don't know if they're going to eventually try to bring some kind of lawsuit or whatever. I'd imagine this will not just end here. But yeah, it's kind of like a he said, she said kind of thing right now, because it's not like somebody has said it to this point, like he mentions, he or she mentions that what are these secret leaks?
Right.
It's not like all of a sudden we have more gameplay that came out from the game or another trailer that got leaked early or something like.
There's not some like mega directory full of like gameplay assets or like here's a beta version.
Yeah,
of
like
the
Insomniac leak was way worse than this.
Right.
Whatever this is, like, this is nothing,
I mean,
at the end,
we had the GTA 6 leak like a year ago or whatever, and
like that was bad. Like, okay, you can bring that up. It makes sense. Like, okay, you're not saying that they had anything to do with that. You're saying this is just something else, and it's the reason why. Like, it's It's
No,
not good.
like I said, like they're disruptive behaviors. I'm trying to unionize. So,
Yeah, exactly.
and I can totally buy like Rockstar not caring that it like about like UK labor law either. Like they're like whatever.
Yeah, we're Rockstar. Take-Two they will defend us to the moon because,
Right.
without us, there would be a significant chunk of money not coming in.
Yeah.
Um, Also, speaking of money, Borderlands 4 apparently may not have sold as much as expected. Strauss Zelnick did an interview with the Game Business where he said that Borderlands 4 had a great launch, but it failed to wow with sales figures, and the numbers were ultimately softer than the company would have liked.
I can buy that.
He does mention that the Steam release problems may
It
have
wasn't.
affected that. Yeah,
It wasn't just Steam. Like every platform had problems with that game. That
yeah.
them canceling the Switch 2 version like a week before it was supposed to come out. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement for this game is stable and functional.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sure it will sell fine as it keeps getting,
yeah,
uh
it's one of those like
goes on sale.
like long term games. Like once DLC comes out, once Randy Pitchford shuts the fuck up, that'll help for sure.
That dude never shuts up, so he might as well
Right.
keep wishing for that. I mean, I'm
Um,
sure that he got told like, do not talk about what you think about somebody's knowledge about whether the game is screwed up or
right.
not. But,
Um, so it's not like I wouldn't hold it against Borderlands 4 necessarily, like that it didn't like impress sales figures right at launch, but it's one of those
right.
games that builds over like word of mouth. But
Yeah,
also, like
exactly.
maybe not. Like Borderlands 3 didn't really do that. Borderlands 2 did, but like I think that franchise is kind of like slowly tarnished. Uh because of how Randy portrays himself and then like the fan base itself, like that they don't help. Like
Yeah.
there's a very I would say valid part of gaming that doesn't like that game just because like the attitude it has.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they did supposedly make the writing better where it's not as
Right.
like cringy or
But
whatever.
it's yeah, it's like okay, that's 4 games or at least 3 games too late. So
Right. But all right, let's get into some sales stuff really quick. Battlefield 6 has reportedly sold 10 million copies. That's a nice chunk of money there for EA.
yeah.
Um, and it's obviously probably not gonna, outdo Call of Duty, but that is a nice chunk of sales to be able to promote when Call of Duty comes out in like 4 days. And Call
Well,
of Duty will
again,
not have early access, by the way. So
that's another one of those things that like both those games are like sales over time.
right. But they are competing against each other, and like beforehand, Call of Duty really didn't have a lot of competition when Battlefield isn't around. So
Right,
that does show that Battlefield 6 is a good game. And
right,
along with Arc Raiders being out there and doing gangbusters, you have to
right.
wonder if that allows for people to be like, you know what, maybe I'm not gonna just rush out and buy Call of Duty this time.
Well,
Yeah.
who's gonna buy it? Yeah, it's on Game Pass for links for Xbox. So
Well, yeah, but I mean, what did they say? 82% bought it on PlayStation last time. So
right,
that part they already know it's not gonna be the big push there for that.
right.
Dispatch, the narrative game that's similar to like the
Telltale.
Telltale games,
Right.
where it's like choose your own adventure. Uh Similarly to like Invincible, I guess is the closest like comp to it.
Yeah,
Um,
you're like dispatching superheroes around or whatever.
and it hasn't had all the episodes come out yet. I think the last two come out like this week or whatever, but with 4 episodes out, it has already sold 1 million copies, which is great. Obviously, you're counting 4 different episodes there, but still, to sell 1 million copies of choose your own adventure and narrative game, that's still pretty great. So
Right.
it says a lot when you do good writing, people will reward that, and they have so far. It looks
Ho-
like.
Hopefully, give them some runway for that Wolf Among Us 2,
Yeah, hopefully, I'd agree.
because that they showed that trailer off, and that was a while ago.
Yeah,
So,
Jesus, it feels like we were waiting on that forever. Um,
or it's not even them, is it?
I think they are the same ad hoc studios.
Okay.
Are they
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah. They are
same? Yeah,
developing
they're
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Um,
Hopefully.
but yeah, then you've also got Nintendo doing their thing with the two consoles. The Switch 1 is super close. Like, I'm pretty sure we could be talking about this and it's already broken the DS sales record. It's like
Yeah.
154 million.01, and the DS is like 0.02.
Right.
So that's pretty much that's broken. Will
I
it
mean,
get to 160.6 million units? We'll have to see for the PlayStation 2.
right.
But it is officially the best-selling Nintendo console ever, regardless of whether it's the Game Boy line or the console line. And the Switch 2 has sold over 10 million units already, with a further 20.6 million of software, which is insane already. I think I saw the number is like close to 3.5 million for Donkey Kong, and like 6 million or 5.9 million for Mario Kart 9, or what was it called? Mario Kart
World
shoot,
Tour.
again, World Tour. I couldn't think of the name for a second. Shows you how much I have not played that thing after launch. Honestly, I'm not alone. There's a lot of people that are like, this game is not.
I've
Yeah,
never played it. It's on my console, but no,
yeah,
I don't even think I actually activated the code. I think it's still in the box.
right. I don't blame you. It's Mario Kart is like one of those games that, again, I've said it a few times. Like, if you have a lot of people to play it with, or people that come over a lot, it's a great game. I
Right.
think, and now you can obviously play it online and stuff, which is fine. But I think if you're like one of those like people, you don't have a lot of friends to bring around, you don't have kids,
Right.
or like me, you have a kid they have their games that they play. I'm not touching that thing after the initial hoopla goes off, especially after that open world part is not great. Um, but yeah, it's great that it's selling, and Nintendo Switch 2 keeps proving why you do need exclusives. So,
Right.
you know. Speaking of things for EA, I should have mentioned this when we talk about Battlefield, but they did have N7 Day,
Yeah.
and BioWare brought up two things. They are still working on Mass Effect 5. They are heads down focused exclusively on Mass Effect. After what they've said, it was exclusively incredibly busy last few years. We got a lot of the universe to cover, lots of features to build, lots of romances to figure out. We're excited about what we're building. We promise you when we're ready, it'll be a lot of fun to show you. And also, the Mass Effect TV show will not follow the original trilogy of games that will be set after Mass Effect 3.
What ending to Mass Effect 3? Because those endings go in some very different directions.
Yeah, I wonder if that means they're going to pick are they going to
Canon.
pick a canon ending?
Yeah.
Or are they just going to act like it didn't happen and just this
Right.
is
Or they'll just combine it, or just pick something else. Be like, whatever. I think they're talking about that it's a big load as far as the first one. Like,
yeah.
you show something. It doesn't have to be gameplay. It doesn't have to be, some cinematic. You show at least like a title screen, or give a goddamn name. Because it's not going to be called Mass Effect 4. It'll be like Mass Effect Infinite or Mass Effect Omega or some stupid name.
Oh
But
yeah,
like,
after Andromeda didn't have the 4, I
yeah.
think they're definitely not going to have this be a number. It'll be something Mass Effect something.
But then also, like, I I don't have much faith in them pulling this off at all either. So,
Yeah. You have
like,
any faith in that Mass Effect TV show?
not really. Yeah,
Not really.
because like Amazon might. It is Amazon, right? Or is it
It's
Netflix?
Amazon.
They
I
might
thought,
pull
yeah,
it off, but
yeah.
like it depends on like what like because like look at Fallout. Like you could tell a different story in that universe, but we'll see what they do.
Yeah. I mean, it is set to start filming next year,
Right.
late next year. So we'll see. I mean, they also have the God of War show that they're working on, and then the Tomb Raider
Yeah.
show. So Amazon has a lot of gaming related shows that they're doing right now. So, but hey, you did mention Netflix. Netflix is going to do a reality competition show with Overcooked. A24 has acquired the rights to Overcooked and wants to adapt the game into a cooking competition. It's going to be similar to Nailed It or The Floor is Lava. I don't watch those two, so I don't know. But I have watched The Floor, but that's not the same as The Floor is Lava. Look, you know what? Overcooked is crazy. You can easily replicate that in a show.
Sure.
I don't know if it's gonna really, is it really gonna be just the name and then you're really not using much of the actual game? Probably. I don't know. What do you think?
Uh sure. I mean, it'll just be some dumb cooking show with like probably like teams of chefs trying to do stuff, and they'll have like chaotic events or something like that. Like,
Well, and then a part of it's you're also expediting, right? At the same time. So you got to do like the whole, oh, we're trying to expedite and get it all done and push it over there and do all that. And it's like, maybe you got to like do multiple plates at once, right? So like you got to do multiple, so you basically got to do a whole dinner and you got to have all that and it's set on a timer or something and you got to have it done by a certain time and then you're rushing to get it out while you're also working on the other dishes.
right.
I love cooking shows, so I will probably watch it. Also love the game, so I will probably also watch it because of that. But
Right.
yeah, we'll see if it does anything on that front for Netflix. The movie games getting movies thing continues
Right.
with as we have Kamikaze and I talking about PS for the win. I guess PS is great. They have great things there for you. Robust Grow Garden is getting a movie from Story Kitchen. If you don't know, Story Kitchen is also working on a movie from Expedition 33. They're also working on one for Split Fiction and for Tomb Raider and Shinobi. That's a lot of movie projects from one company.
Yeah. Probably one too many because I don't think most of them are gonna happen. So
I mean, to be fair, Expedition 33 and Split Fiction basically already write themselves.
right.
You're just kind of trying to figure out the right people and figure out the things from the game that you're not going to put into the movie and all that stuff. Tomb Raider is, I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Right.
Will that ever come to air, like you said? I have no idea. I have a sort of concept of what Grow Garden is because I've seen my daughter play it. But I guess you can that's kind of like the Minecraft movie. I feel like that's kind of
Gotta be
what they're
like
going after.
the rich narrative story of Grow a Garden.
Yeah. But hey, why not? If you can get people in the door
Right.
to watch it, then why not? There's also been some delays. One of them includes a game that I was really excited about, Unbeatable, and then it got delayed 12 hours before it was supposed to come out. You
Right.
darn devs. But it's fine. I'd rather the game work, especially when they're talking about there's a progress blocking bug that was happening. That's not great. I
Right.
definitely don't want that to be in the game if I'm going to go buy it. So now it will come out December 9th instead of what would have been November 10th.
Yeah, like last week or today.
So, or yeah, I'm look, come out when it comes out. I just hope the game's great because I love the demo.
Right.
Marvel 1943 Rise of the Hydra has been delayed again.
Yep.
We don't even know when it was going to come out in 2026 when it got delayed. Now we really don't know. It got delayed from the nebulous early 2026 to whenever in 2026.
Is it weird that they haven't shown any gameplay?
Yeah, no, they've only shown that one trailer that looked cool and everything, but yeah, they haven't shown.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it will happen, but definitely it will be one of those games that you're kind of like, oh, this is what we're getting excited about, and it's kind of like, all right, this is fine. Which sucks because again, like the whole prospect of the game, the whole like narrative of it sounds great.
Right.
But man, you're taking so long with the execution that even with Amy Hennig being involved, I'm still. Also, that's a really bad look for Amy Hennig if that game doesn't come out because.
Well, hey, look at her
last. When was the last time that she actually had a game come out?
Her past few games, yeah. So.
Terminator 2D or No Fate 2D. I don't know what the actual title is. 2D No Fate. I'm sorry. Has been delayed to December 12th, 2026. That was also supposed to come out pretty soon.
For a while, but yeah.
And it keeps getting delayed, so it has been delayed another month. Basically, they just need additional time to assemble everything and get it all working with the physical and digital editions. So,
yep,
it's got to wait a little longer, I guess. Hopefully, NetEase has shut down 2 studios. The fantastic Pixel Castle studio. This was sort of announced like last week, like on Monday, and then now Bad Brain Game Studios, which has only been around for 2 years, and they worked. They were working on a game known as Midnight Riders, which is supposed to be an open world action adventure game set in the 1980s. That's all we knew about it, and that got killed. And Fantastic Pistol actually did come out, but then,
didn't do well.
Didn't do well. So that sucks.
Yep.
Same thing that happened to the Secret of Mana, the Visions of Mana studio, that they killed that, and the game hadn't even been out more than 5 hours.
Yeah.
So NetEase is quick to pull the trigger. It doesn't surprise me when that kind of sucks. I hate to see that.
All right.
But hopefully anybody that is losing work finds work quickly. This also goes to the Square Enix over 137 employees that were laid off from the UK and US based branches. Most of them were UK and Europe, but still, Square Enix has been doing fine.
Yeah, but I think their whole stupid going like, oh, we want all of our QA to be AI driven. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of makes it look bad. They said that by 2027, they want to have most of their QA and debugging handled by AI by the end of 2027. Good Lord, that's not a good look. I mean, I know that there's programs that can do that and stuff like that and whatever, and maybe it's more cost efficient.
But to rely majorly on it or solely on it, that's like the problem.
Yeah, that's the part that worries me. Honestly, I don't really want to see that, to be fair. But all right. I'm sorry. Let's go into our let me go ahead and go over the games that are coming out this week so we can kind of like put a bow on it. And anybody that wants to join us for our more personal big topic, you definitely can. If not, this is kind of the end of the newsy part of the show. Coming out this week, you got the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition coming to everything but Switch, as you'd expect. Inazuma 11 Victory Road, which is a soccer game based on like a very well-known property that's existed for a long time. This game's been delayed like 3 times. It's kind of come out on everything, even PS4, Switch 2, Switch, and Xbox. Inazuma 11 Victory Road. So I know people that are excited for that game. So hopefully you do get your fix with Inazuma 11 finally. Surviving Mars relaunched, coming out to the next gen consoles and PC on the 10th as well. Goodnight Universe, that was shown off at like one of the indie showcases I watched. That's coming to everything on the 11th. NASCAR 25 is coming to PC. Luminous Arise is coming to PC and PS5 on the 11th as well. Are you excited for that?
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, hopefully.
Sorry, I mean, nonsense going outside my house right now.
Enhance did a great job with the Tetris connected thing, so this should be.
I like that quite a bit.
Windswept comes out on everything on the 11th as well. This is that game with the duck and the turtle. It's kind of like an action game where you play as like both of them. Siberia Remastered comes out on the 12th. Winterboro comes out on Switch, PC, and Xbox. Series that is also on Game Pass. You play as like a little mouse. It's like a survival game.
Right.
It's pretty neat. Anos 117 Pax Romana comes out on the 13th. Series X, PC, and PlayStation. And also the Yakuza Kiwami 1, 2 coming to Switch 2. Those are great games. If you have not played them yet and have a Switch 2, I guess.
All right.
Go get that. What are you waiting for? Definitely go get that thing.
Yep.
Is this right? PUBG has never officially been on Series X and PS5?
I don't think so, yeah.
No, so now it's officially getting released on the 13th as well. So sure. Obviously the biggest game of this week is Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Yep.
That is coming out on the 14th. That's coming to everything. Y'all know y'all getting that. I don't know if I may check it out this year just like I did last year because I liked Black Ops 6 story. That was really good.
Right.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero comes to Switch 2 and Switch on the 14th. Mark still refuses to play this game. Yep. I guess, right?
I don't have it, so I mean, it's not immaterial. Like, if I had it, I might try.
But you're always talking about how you did not want to play the game,
right,
or whatever. So that you're not a big fan of the
Budokan, yeah, when it turns 3D, it becomes bad.
And Where Winds Meet PC and PS5 as well. So some cool stuff. Obviously, everybody's gonna be watching those Call of Duty sales and numbers and how many people are playing it. I'm sure it'll be talk of like how many people are playing on Game Pass. Oh my god. We'll see how that goes. But all right, for those of y'all that again, we're gonna get into like a little personal topic here of our 10 games that define us between myself, Mark, and Randy. Mark, what criteria did you use for this? I know I've seen a lot of people use different criteria for this. So
I guess just favorite games, or just that ones that were impactful to me.
All right, fair enough. I did. I actually looked at it as like the 10 games that kind of maybe not always the exact game that I would say is the best in the series for me or whatever, but I'd see it as the 10 games that really, when I look back at like my years of gaming, they are the games that like are the reasons why I play the genres that I do, love those genres. And they're the ones that like stick out for me as far as the ones that I feel like I've championed the most. They're not always my like top whatever 10 games of all time or whatnot. And there's some that I did have to leave off the list that we'll get into in a second. As well, Randy also did his kind of a similar vein of like the 10 kind of series or games that defined him as well. So I guess starting off with, I don't know if you have any honorable mentions.
No, I just did 10-1. So
all right, I didn't. Yeah, so I didn't really rank mine because they're kind of just more based on like why I play these kind of games. But the ones that didn't make my list either because I, like in the case of Pokemon Yellow, I'm not as huge a fan of Pokemon nowadays as I was growing up.
yeah,
You can blame Nintendo for the way it has gone lately on the Switch for that. But mainly because there's just something about like I feel like it has changed a lot since you're not getting the kind of more traditional Pokemon
right,
titles like back in the 2D days, or even still when the 2D the DS and 3DS. Um, like Pokemon Yellow barely missed a cut. Madden, number one because I couldn't pick between the three, whether FIFA, NBA Live, or Madden. But I don't really play sports sim titles that much anymore. Also, but they were like a formative part of my like gaming. That when I was a kid, that's almost all that I played.
right,
Mario Odyssey as my sort of representative of 3D platformers. Just because like I tend to kind of go more towards 2D platformers than 3D platformers. But Mario Odyssey is a great game, and obviously Mario 3D series is amazing. So, and House of the Dead kind of represents that Doom style shooter, the dumb shooter that I like a lot. I played it a ton with my sister and Dave and Buster's, that kind of thing. Just not a type of game that I play anymore, but it is one that like growing up, I definitely played a lot of those kind of games.
sure.
Randy had a few honorable mentions on his Silent Hill 2. I
Yeah,
guess this is the remake and the original. He is a huge survival horror game fan, obviously. Legend of Zelda Link to the Past and Super Mario Brothers 3
sure.
also did not make his list. I guess I'll just go ahead because Randy's not really here to talk about his stuff. Astrobot, Uncharted 4, Mario Party 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, NCAA Football 2005, Final Fantasy 7, Banjo-Kazooie, Mega Man 2, MLB The Show every year, he says. Resident Evil 2 are his 10-ish. Yeah, knowing Randy, that pretty much kind of sums him up, I gotta say.
Yep.
That kind of hits all of he loves those party games. I'm surprised he picked Uncharted instead of Last of Us, but he was always like a champion of Uncharted. He was one of the ones along with me that like Astrobot was huge for him. Final Fantasy VII's always been, and survival horror is like one his main big genre. So yeah, that makes sense. So what
Sure.
is I don't know how you want to do it. I didn't rank mine, so I don't know if you want to just I guess give like your 10 to 5 and then we can go from there.
Yeah, my 10 was Crisis Core. 9 was Burnout 3 Takedown. Number 8 was Tomba. 7 was Vi, and 6 was Tetris.
Why Crisis Core out of all the
I like that one a lot. I even hacked my PSP at the time to like record video to my to my PC to like record the ending. Okay, I think it's just a really good game. I think the port is better because it doesn't have some of the weird like control issues the PSP one had. But
right? Yeah.
uh, I like the characters a lot. Uh, yeah, I just think it's a very very good game.
So I have no idea what Vi is, so you have to
It's a
explain that.
Sega CD RPG.
Okay.
It's when I like first. It's a working designs RPG. It was like probably one of my first RPGs. I think that predated like Mario RPG by like at least a few years. Uh, yeah, it's cool. It's hard. I got damn near the ending of that game, and you're in this like dungeon where it's like 6 rows and 7 columns of teleporters, and you're supposed to like find the right one. And it's like, think of like a battleship level. It's like, oh, it's like C5, or that's the correct one, but you go in one and it's the wrong one, and then all the monsters are super fucked hard because it's one of those types of games. And I mean, I even called like the damn Sega hotline at the time. I'm like, where did I go? And the one was, I don't know. I'm like, this was worth $3 a minute. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I never actually finished the game because I got like stuck at that point. I was like, 7 or 8 at the time, but
Right.
it's cool. I liked it. I have a copy right now. I actually bought a copy a few months ago, but Sega CD to play it on.
Fair enough. Any
But
other games you want to talk about there that you?
not really. I mean,
That's
Tetris
cool.
is pretty formative, and I love Tomba still. So
All right. What's your final 5 there?
5 was Space Rangers 2. You don't know what that is? It's a
No.
Russian. Uh, it's kind of like a weird all-in-one game because it's like an isometric turn-based space game, but it also has RTS elements, like text adventure elements, arcade game stuff. A whole bunch of weird crap. And then 4 is Suikoden 2. 3 was Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. 2 is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and 1 is Planescape Torment.
Wow.
Yep.
So no Persona.
Nah, I mean that kind of Nocturne was predated that by a few years, and I actually weirdly like the story of Nocturne. I don't like the time constraints of some Persona games, or
All right. Fair enough.
Yep. How about you?
All right. So for me, yeah, it was like one of those, like, I rattled off like the first 6 or 7, and then after that it's like, oh, okay. This kind of got hard. Um for me, Super Mario World
Yeah.
was like my first big game that I played a long time. It's the reason why I love 2D platformers.
Sure.
You know, uh TMNT Turtles in Time. The main reason why I still play beat 'em ups, especially the 2D beat 'em ups. I played that
Right.
game forever. I would stay up in the middle of the night and play that game, even though I beat it I don't know how many times, just because, awesome game. Halo Combat Evolved. Obviously, I think I've talked about it a bunch of times here. It was the game that we had summer parties based around. Everybody
Right.
brought their TVs, your system links, your Xboxes,
Yeah.
and we all played that. Like, we had 12 guys. You couldn't play with 12, but we
You could
played
swap
with, like,
out, or
we could swap them out, and then you had like we had 2v2 on another TV on the other
right.
side of the room. It's like the LAN party before you had the LAN party, I guess. But it was so much fun, and still love Halo to this day for that. Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is technically the one that made the impression on me. I did gameplay recordings of Kingdom Hearts 1 before we
Right.
had streaming or Twitch or whatever. I recorded myself on video playing the game. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is obviously the better game. If we're talking about, if I want to give somebody a representative of what Kingdom Hearts is until you play that game, it's
Right.
always going to be 2. Like, 1 has just got too many problems.
Yep.
It's not, the platform especially is just very old.
Yeah.
Style that makes it hard to go back to playing that game. Chrono Trigger is my number 1 game of all time. It's a work of art when it comes to like 2D SNES RPGs. It has everything
SNES.
you would want in one RPG.
SNES RPG, not NES.
Oh, I said SNES. It may just have muffled the S there. Sorry. The soundtrack is amazing. Like, look, you're talking about 3 of the greatest artists ever working together for one game, and sadly one of them has passed away at this point. But will we ever get a remake or remaster of the game? Who knows? But obviously, definitely go play that still somehow if you can.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Final Fantasy X is here instead of 9. 9 is my favorite, but 10 is here because I would not care about Final Fantasy at all if it wasn't for Final Fantasy X. It's the game I got on my birthday many, many years ago when it first came out. My brother just bought it for me. I put it in, and I fell in love with it. And I never actually got to the end of beating it. I always would get stuck, like really close to where you fight Sin or whatever. But I would play it over and over. Just because like I loved it so much, the music, the fighting, the characters, all of that stuff. It was the 7 for me. And then it made me go backwards and play a bunch of the older games and love the series. So, NBA Street Volume 2. I love sports arcade games. I grew up playing sports arcade games since NBA Jam with friends all the way through. And Volume 2 is like the best representative of when somebody tells me a sports arcade game. NBA Street Volume 2 is the epitome of what an amazing sports arcade game is. For some people, it is the best one ever still. And I fear for that NBA The Run game that's being made right now. You're going to get so many comparisons to this and probably still not be able to hit it with as amazing as it was. Rock Band 3. I love Rock Band. I think I've said that a million times on this if you've watched this throughout the years. Rock Band 3 was probably the epitome of what Rock Band became to be. It didn't have the best like story mode thing, but just like getting to have all that music in one game, playing with my friends, playing with my family, all that in my college years. Rock Band 3 was like the game I took to gaming parties and people would play all night. Like it's still a game I wish I could play right now. It's sad that Rock Band 4 finally got delisted and all that stuff, but it is what it is. It was a time, definitely. Another kind of genre that I really love is like that narrative sort of like adventure game. And being an indie, obviously, also Night in the Woods is one that left a big impression. I mean, I could have put Journey here or something else like that, but like Night in the Woods for me left a bigger impression because of it being kind of closer to like things that I've gone through. It's a great game in its own right. Definitely should pick that up. It's been on all kinds of different services or whatever. Yeah, definitely should go check that out if you like the narrative games that you're still exploring towns and stuff like that. It's not like the Telltale where you're kind of like not really doing anything and just picking lines. You are following a path and doing things, even though most of it's set for you. But it's a great game. And Death's Door is kind of my pick for the me loving indies kind of thing of just it's a game that was my game of the year. Just because it's not a Souls-like, but it has enough of the action in it that makes me keep coming back. But then it also has a lot of the wonder and stuff that, whether it's the creative levels or the music or other things, just Death's Door was an amazing game. I probably could have put other indies here, like Celeste or Bastion or some other ones, but Death's Door, like really, really, I thought about it. It like still stands out to me now. So. Yeah. So let us know what you think are the 10 games that define you in the comments, or if you'll watch or listen to this later.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be it for the show this week. We do appreciate y'all watching, listening, whether you check it out live or listen later, watch later, watch us on demand on YouTube, like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Give us a review on the podcast place of your choice. And we'll see you next week.
Later.
Peace.